discussing what they do and everything else. And as we were talking, and he walked over and, you know, gave this person a ticket for, you know, too tall of grass in their yard because it was about 2 foot tall. Literally, it was above my knees. I was like, okay. But so yeah, I'm going to leave the trash issue up for you know, another till the next city council, and then we'll pick another topic to bring open. But please, by the next city council, if you've got an idea of what to do, if you think, you know, going to a one trash company for the city doing its own, you know, a lot of different things. It's bring something that if you, even if you don't sit up here, be community involved and minded, and bring us a suggestion. And so don't bring the problem. We know what the problem is. Bring the solution. So, but again, please, everyone's invited out tomorrow, 12 o'clock, Firehouse number 2, groundbreaking ceremony, and then we will go from there. So there's plenty of things going on. All right. So public comment.
I wanted to take this time to address the city council on a property encroachment thing I'm dealing with right now.
Your name, sir?
Huh?
Your name for the record?
Brian Chancey. I own Chancey's Jewelry on Russell Street at 1615 Russell. I own lot 7 and 8 of Watson Addition there. I have someone building a building right on the property line, if not over my property line at the moment. And I picked up this land subdivision and zoning ordinance book from the clerk yesterday, or the day before yesterday, and I studied it quite in detail. And most of the sections here say that there's a 10-foot width on the side yard and 20 foot on the rear yard. And every section of this book, it refers back to section 7.5, which states there shall be no side yard less than 10 feet in width on the side of the lot adjoining a residential district, and we're in a residential district. Was on the phone. I went and talked to Victor yesterday. I actually, Brenda Ellis called him for me so I could talk to him. And he made the statement that this person could build all the way up to my property line with the wall of a building. And I'm here to try to clarify if he's actually able to do that or not. As far as the zoning and regulations here, in every section, it refers back to 7.5, 8.5, section 8.5, and section 9.5. 9.5 is more for industrial, and it states 25 foot from the property line. Here on page 49 of this book, it states that a B1 neighborhood business, I don't know if I'm a B1 or a B2.
You're not. I can tell you you're not. There's only one B1 area in the city.
Okay. And also B2, which is general business.
You may be that, I don't know.
Okay. And it refers back to section 8.5. And section 8.5 states that there shall be a side yard not less than 10 foot in width of the side of a lot adjoining a residential district. There shall not be a rear yard less than 10 foot in depth of the rear yard of a lot adjoining a residential district. So I was told by Victor Mode yesterday that he could build that building all the way up to my property line. And I'm trying to get some clarification on this. And I don't know if y'all are aware of this going on right now or not. But I would like to know if there was a variance filed I wasn't aware of, or anything like that, that allowed this gentleman to do this and approach my property.
Let me ask you, I'm almost positive there hasn't been any variance. I don't think there's been one in quite a while. Do you know what the zoning is in the area you're talking about?
Well, it's all residential. I don't know because I don't know exactly. I was going to head down to the courthouse tomorrow, but I have got with Skelton and Associates. I have a survey on the way, to show the property lines. I do feel like he's 3 foot over my property line with his pole.
And that could well be, and that would, you know, that's a civil issue between property owners. But as far as, you know, a lot of it depends on what the zoning is. If it's B2, you can't build to the line as long as it's not bordering a residential area. Say an R1 or R2 next to a B2, the B2 would have to have it set off. It would have to have the side yard and backyard areas. But if it's one of them B2, the next door to B2, you can build to the line.
With no setback whatsoever.
Right.
So I can build up to his building also.
Yes.
Back my building straight up to
Yes,
his
I mean,
and build it
it's
right
like-
on the line
Yeah, it's like,
and be within the
as
ordinance.
long as they're both commercial, you know, B2 or actually B1.
Is there an amendment to this book that I'm unaware of? Because this is the ordinances, isn't it?
Yes. But it all
refers back
depends on
to
what the
10
zoning is.
Every section, well, there's several different zonings here.
Well, I know, but it all depends on what the zoning is on.
R1, R2, B1, B2, I1, and I2.
Yes, sir.
They all have setbacks in this ordinance.
The industrial B2 have setbacks if they are bordering the residential zoning
Well, it says residential district,
or district zoning.
so the district wouldn't be, the district would be the whole area, not just one single property, am I correct?
Yes.
What's the address here?
1615 Russell Street, and I live in 1617. And the property west of me, actually, it's not, there's a residential house in the front,
Right.
and there's a half lot in the back, and it's the second building going on a half lot.
You know,
With over
I'd have to
12
look and
foot.
see what the zoning is and all that.
Also, the height on the building is over 12 foot, right on the line, so I'd like to know what to do about it.
Again, we have to determine exactly what the zoning is and the lots that you're talking about.
Did Victor say if he had a permit or not?
He did say he was aware of, so so,
Should have a permit.
Right.
um,
Yeah.
I have a question with that. You say he's building right on the line, and then it was said that you could build yours right up against his on the line?
right, and I don't
Does that not have
understand.
something to do with fire jumping? If one of those catches fire, you're not supposed to have a gap that you can...
Yeah.
With the residential fire code that we follow on that, I don't think. But, I mean, the issue right here, again, with your zoning, you do need to know if it's exactly what that property's zoned at.
Well, it also states in here that you can't build a commercial building any closer to another commercial building. It has to be a 15-foot span between the buildings. And if that was the case, then that would be 7.5 feet per side. His side would be 7.5 foot, and my side would be 7.5 foot. So he's not encroaching my property, so I can't build on it later. He's pushing me into my property on buildings if I prefer, you know, in the future, if I want to build something there.
And we can be more than happy to look at it a little bit more in depth, and I'll look
Yeah,
and
but
see what they can.
again, a lot of it depends on on the parcels you're talking about, what the zoning is on those.
On each lot.
Yes.
Yeah, on each lot, so.
If your lot's zone B2, what Terry's saying, you can build on the lot, and so can the other fellow. It's just like downtown.
Yeah.
But if his is not B2, he can't approach me that
No, if it's R1 or R2, you have to have
Hey
the
Terry,
side yard.
Best Calter is gonna survey the property, I gave him the number. He will know what zoning he will be in the survey.
Well, possibly, but if it's went through a variance at one time or another, you gotta go through that. Where are those records kept?
Oh, Victor would have those.
Victor will.
like I said, we'll look at it.
Yeah, we got the zoning maps.
If the gentleman's already had a permit, I mean, I would kind of, you know, we probably would know what zone he's building in before you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just part of the standard procedure,
It
so.
would, yeah, sure.
We'll find out, Chad, what's going on with it.
Okay. Also, the way it's been built, it doesn't have 18-inch footings, and they're putting a roof over the top of it 12 foot in the air. And I was told that I had to have 18-inch footings to put an awning off the back of my house over my patio. So I had to have 18-inch footings to put that, erect that.
No, we'll look
So,
at it.
Anyways,
16, Russell,
the next
16.
council meeting, I'll have more information for you.
Yeah, or bring it to the clerk's office anytime, and we can look at it then. Doesn't have to be the council meeting. I mean,
Well, that's what,
You don't have
that's
to
what
do
I
it.
tried yesterday.
Yeah, well, you don't
And I
have to,
got
yeah.
told that he could build to the line, so,
well,
if that's the case, then, that's not ordinance, so I'm not real pleased with it. That property's been in my family since 1901. I had the original mortgage papers on the property. So it's been there for a long, long time. When that property was built, there wasn't even a property beside it that was waterfront.
well, there wasn't any zoning until the 1960s.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Any other public comment? Yes.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good
Council.
evening.
I'm Lyle Arch with the Boogaloo Riders. And I got a flyer here I'm gonna pass out, and then I'll let y'all know a little bit about what's coming up here